Back at it again, and you know when mainstream media is saying you suck, you know you're in trouble. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new. If you would like to help me out with the YouTube algorithm too, watch this video to the very end. Helps out tremendously. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, let's dive in.
New numbers out this morning detailing how Americans feel and think President Biden is handling his job in the Oval Office right now. 41%, take a look right there, of Americans approve. Nearly 60% are disapproving of how Biden is handling the job. CNN's Harry Enton is here with much more on this. It's not just the number as it stands right there, Harry. For you, it's always how it stacks up against history of other presidents.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, the only one who was noticeably worse was Jimmy Carter. You know, we always said Donald Trump had such a low approval rating, right? But if you look, what you see is that Donald Trump's approval rating was actually slightly larger than Joe Biden's was at this point. Trump was at 43%. Biden is at just 41%. So he's doing.
Even with all the attacks while Uncle Trump was in office, his approval rating was still better. Even though they continually came after him. Russia, Russia, Russia. Y'all remember that? Of course. His approval rating was still better.
Doing worse than Trump, who he was always saying was doing so poorly. And I'll note the reason why that his approval rating is so low at this point is because it comes down to the economy. If you look at Joe Biden's approval on the economy right now, it stinks. It is well below 40%. You see it there, 37% approval on the economy. And that's the top issue in our poll. So I don't think it's much of a surprise if you are stinking on the issue that's most important to the American public, that your approval rating also stinks.
The timing of the poll is important as well. This is polled through the month of July. This is also as there's been a slew of good reports on the economy that's been coming in. That must be a real head scratcher for the Biden team.
I think it is a real head scratcher.
Because it's not true. People aren't stupid. These good reports, they know it's all bogus and BS. Oh, the economy is doing great. The economy is recovering just fine. Meanwhile, people are scraping together pennies to go and get some groceries. It's just not adding up. So continue along with your stupid little narrative of everything is good and everything is great. So in my humble opinion, the media is just exposing itself as a blatant liar, right? So the more that they do it, the more people actually realize, hold on, these MFers are actually, they lying. I'm really not going to believe anything that they say. So continue at it. Keep coming out with these reports that the economy is great. Go ahead. People know what's actually going on. People see what's in their wallets and what's in their bank accounts and their thought process when they're at the gas pump. Man, should I fill it up or should I just go with half? Because all I have is $40 in my bank right now. I'm just gonna put a little 20 in it and try to make it from there. I might borrow 20 from my uncle to last me for the rest of the week. People know what's really happening,
Coming in, that must be a real head scratcher for the Biden team.
I think it is a real head scratcher, and it's just something we've seen. Even as the economy's gotten better, Joe Biden's overall approval rating and his approval rating on the economy really hasn't gotten much better. But the thing I'll note, inflation, yes, it's down compared to a year ago, but compared to 2 years ago, it's still way up. So I think people are taking the longer range view than just the shorter one over the last year.
And again, it's such a personal issue how you feel, how your economy is, how your personal economy is, and that's what voters have to look at and have to deal with. But also on in this poll, people are also asked who they trust more on the handling of major issues.
Listen to this.
This really sticks out.
Yeah, it does. They ask congressional Republicans or the President of the United States. And we know congressional approval rating tends to be very, very low.
Yeah, like in the tank. I mean, like you can say it without even looking at the latest poll.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Mass murderers sometimes have greater approval ratings than Congress. But what we see here is that more people actually trust congressional Republicans than President Biden on the most important issues of the day. And this, to me, is a very worrying sign for the president going into the presidential election year, because the fact is, if he's doing this poorly against congressional Republicans, imagine how he might do against a presidential candidate from the Republican side.
Losing to congressional Republicans, right? Woo! You know it's bad when that starts to happen. Very interessante. Very interesting if I do say so myself. losing to congressional Republicans. That's tough. Okay, that is tough. But we got some more clips for you guys, so stick around. Let's dive into some more of this good old CNN clips, or these good old CNN clips. Let's jump into it. So here's one of the other clips from CNN, and as you can see here at the bottom of the screen, Biden losing support among non-white, non-college voters. Boy, is this getting good. My goodness.
I have something. Here's 30 points from where he was during an election day in 2020 to 2020 to where they are now. Yes.
20 point. Hold on. Did she say? Hold on.
30 points.
30 points. Excuse me. 30 points down among non-white. I'm sorry. It's getting dark for this guy. Woo! Oh, man.
From where he was during an election day in 2020 to 2020 to where they are now. Yes.
Which is remarkable. I mean, that really shows all the gains that they need to make.
I have something. Here's 30 points.
Bro, and does anybody notice? Like, I don't watch a whole lot of CNN. Of course, I have to check it out from time to time. But does anybody notice her voice sounds a little shaky? Like she's almost about to cry looking at the numbers. Like, he's almost 30 points down from where he was in 2020 to now. I'm sorry, but listen. If let me know if I'm tweaking or not. Y'all let me know.
From where I have something. Here's 30 points from where he was during an election day in 2020 to 2020 to where they are now. Yes.
Which is remarkable. I mean, that really shows all the gains that they need to make.
I have something. Here's.
I don't know. Her voice sounded shaky to me. Sounded a little shaky. But we also have another clip from CNN. Shout out to Benny Johnson for a couple of these clips. These came from Benny Johnson. But yeah, it's definitely not looking good for Joe Biden and looking great for Uncle Trump. And you know, it's funny to watch them. I'm just going to roll the clip.
The question is, how solid a candidate is Joe Biden?
That's the problem. That's exactly the problem.
And
what is exactly the problem?
That we don't know how solid a candidate Joe Biden is.
We know he's not a solid candidate.
Exactly.
He is struggling. I mean,
within his own party.
It is hard to watch.
The question is, how solid a candidate is Joe Biden?
That's the problem. That's exactly the problem.
And what is exactly the problem?
That we don't know how solid a candidate Joe Biden is.
We know he's not a solid candidate.
Exactly.
He is struggling. I mean,
within his own party.
We know he's not a solid candidate. He is struggling. It is hard to watch. Let the floodgates open, baby. Let the floodgates open. My goodness. And then you had the I dropped the YouTube short on the clip of Mitch McConnell trying to give a speech and everybody saying retire. Yo, 2025 is going to be glorious, man. Absolutely glorious. Like, they have angered too many people now. Even Republicans, Rhino Republicans, of course, are getting the full force of it. If you haven't checked out that YouTube short, definitely check it out. I dropped it, yesterday. Definitely go check it out. Just go to, I think there's a shorts tab on my YouTube channel. Just click on the shorts tab. We're at the top of the screen, and then it'll take you to all of the shorts that I've dropped, which is a lot. But it should be one of the last shorts at the very top of the list. So you shouldn't have to scroll very far. If you have to scroll at all, it should be right there. But yeah, you got guys like Mitch McConnell feeling it. Retire. Everybody just shouting over him. Now, to his credit, he continued to give his speech. But yeah, that didn't look very good. Didn't look good at all. 2025 is going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fantastic year. Uncle Trump back in office, and a lot of these rhinos will be gone, right? And, and a lot of these Democrat criminals will be arrested. Gonna be glorious, man. Gonna be absolutely glorious. And like I said, it's bad when CNN in multiple segments is talking about how bad you are. In multiple segments, including that last segment where the guy said, I don't like it. It's painful to watch. I don't know why he's running. We know he's not a solid candidate. It's getting ugly then. But as always, y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions about all of this in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.